You're on the right microphone this week, Russ, yeah?
I hope so. Yeah, I bought one especially. It was pretty painful last week. Listening back, I always listen back. Do you listen back, Nick? Do you listen back to yourself?
I find it painful listening back, but for an entirely different reason. I just listen back and go, oh shit, that's what I think, is it? Oh, I've committed to that now. Sometimes I say things in the heat of the moment and just.
Have you got used to your own voice yet?
No, never. No one else has. So why should I?
This is true. What about your missus?
I've got used to her voice, yeah, but I've been with her like 5 years now.
Right, nearly there. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm born ready.
Here we go.
Ooh. Stop, collaborate and listen. We're back with a brand spanking new episode of the Scarf Bergara War, the show that's completely crazy for Crankshaw, isn't it? Aren't we? Are we crazy for Crankshaw?
Yeah. Anymore?
That's how crazy I am. I'm Nick Lee, here to guide you through the next hour with all the charm of Danny Adams turning up to a home game in a Man City jacket. Ask your dads, it happened. With me tonight, it's a man who's well and truly let fame go to his head, so much so that he's planning on releasing his own fragrance. So I'm glad we're not in the same room tonight. It's Russ Johnson.
How do you? All right?
Yeah, you, mate. How are you doing?
Not bad. Can anybody, if you are watching, please let me know if my mic's working, because it's a brand new mic and last week was a bit of a disaster. So I would appreciate it if you could comment in. Thanks.
You're sounding loud and clear. It's a bit boring, this podcasting, like, isn't it? When you just win on a Saturday, turn up on a Wednesday, agree that it was shit hot, and repeat. This is probably why Man City don't really have any successful podcasts, that and the lack of fans.
This is true.
So you went to Liverpool at the weekend, didn't you, Ross?
I did, yeah. I did.
How was it, all right?
It was lovely. It was absolutely brilliant, yeah.
Did you know the Beatles are from there? They don't mention it at all.
No, they don't. No,
but the government are giving him another Beatles museum now. So,
well, I didn't. No. I felt call me a cliche. How right you are, because I went to the Beatles museum.
Yeah, you got here the first time. Are you going to ask me what I did at the weekend?
What did you do at the weekend, Nick?
Well, I'm glad you asked us, because I've now in the supermarkets they've got all the Christmas stuff. You know, the fancy pigs in blankets. But when I was younger, it used to be just pigs in blankets, and now it's like 8 different types of like pigs in blankets. So I've had like 3 roasts this week.
Right.
I'm just in pre-season trade. I'm not even cooking Christmas dinner, but fuck it, I'm cooking 3 roasts a week. It's great.
Practice,
I've eaten so many Rennies that it's giving me indigestion, mate. It's a nightmare. So on to the show tonight. What's going on, mate? We've got a new member of the team with us, haven't we?
We have. Welcome, Chloe.
Thank you very much.
Finally, someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
And knows what they're talking about as well. No, really pleased to have you on board, because just so everyone knows, you're going to join us around once a month.
Yep, absolutely.
Brilliant.
You're going to be our period. In that respect.
I don't know what to do with that.
That used to be Dave Long's job.
I don't know what to do that.
I'm speechless now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, obviously you're going to stay for the duration. So just chip in, just basically help me like control Nick, if you would.
You didn't tell me that before I signed up.
No, well, yeah. Kept it quiet. You'd have said no otherwise, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to talk about the 4-1 away win at Wealdstone on last Saturday, and we're going to look ahead to Rotherham on Friday. And we've got a guest coming on very, very soon to talk about it from New York Talk, which is the Rotherham United podcast. So we'll get him out very, very soon. In fact, we'll probably get him out almost immediately. So shall we run titles? This is the Scarf Bergara War, a Stockport County fan-created podcast, blog, YouTube live show and website. Find us at thescarfbergarawar.co.uk. for county fans, by county fans. So just before we do, let's say hello to everybody who's watching. All the usual, I say usual, you said unusual last week, didn't you? All the usual people are watching. So cheers for tuning in. We've got Jamie Willis, Matt Bryan, who's over in Florida, Ian Dowden, Joe Inglesfield, Nick Hughes. There's quite a lot, actually. It's almost getting too many to mention now, which is great. So
should we start doing a register every week?
Yeah, that would help.
It's not the worst register some of them have been on either, is it? So
no, it's not. No, it's not. So cheers for watching. Cheers for listening. If you listen to the podcast, thank you. It does make it makes us feel really good that people actually listen to us talk shit about county. It does. So I tell you what, without further ado, we could do all the admin at the end. Without further ado, let's get our guest on, which is Matt from New York Talk, Rotherham United podcast.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening, hello. You okay?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. So, Rotherham United then. Top of League One. On goal difference, so we'll just get that in. 17 game unbeaten, which I believe is a club record. 17 game on in all competition. We come and play you on Friday. How are you feeling about it?
It's quite good, when we're top of the league. It's quite good to these type of things. Let's talk about Rotherham all we want right now. It's brilliant. It's all rosy and dandy. It's fantastic. Yeah, you can't complain. We're up and down like a yo-yo, aren't we? But this is one of those seasons so far which is looking really good, playing really well. Atmosphere's brilliant. Everybody's back in stadiums. Obviously, that adds to everything. It's been a good 3 4 months into the season now. Really enjoying it.
Is it a club record unbeaten run at the moment as well?
Yeah, 17 games. We got over the line with a fantastic 1-1 draw against Port Vale in the Papa John's Trophy.
As all runs should, yeah.
Yeah, the only rightful way to crown an unbeaten record is that way. But yeah, we've looked super. We lost to Fleetwood 4-2 in, I think, September, and we got battered. It were a bad 4-2 defeat to our average team. And since then, we've looked almost faultless. We've looked really, really good in most of those 17 games, to be honest with you. This is the best squad we've had in ages. The players we've got are really good. From 1 to 22 or so, we haven't just got a good 11, we've got a really good squad for the first time in a while. So it's very exciting at the minute. Really, really exciting being a Rotherham fan. So
what were your pre-season expectations then?
League One this year is as tough as it's ever been. You look at the teams that are in there: Sunderland, Ipswich, Wickham came down, was strong. My idea was let's just try and challenge. If we end up with playoffs, all right. That's not ideal, but staying around the playoff area, and it's always a matter of staying in touch. If you're in touch with top two in March, you're in a good chance. So we are sort of exceeding those expectations because of where we are. I know it's relatively early days, but we look really good. But that can all change. We could lose the next 4 games and find ourselves out at top 6 probably. So we all know how football can turn, and at some point in the season we will go on a bad run. Just hopefully not yet.
Well, I was going to get to that. So obviously you play us this Friday. I know it's at your place. Are you seeing that as a potential banana skin for you, or do you know much about us in terms of how we're doing and what's happened recently with our club?
I know a bit. I saw the Bolton game, which was a superb game of football. I really, really enjoyed that. Before the second round draw, I said on our podcast, I don't want Bolton or Stockport. Bolton or Stockport came out, obviously. Yeah, and I know you're behind Bromley in the league, and we thrashed Bromley in the first round, but it may be because of your history, and I know in my lifetime Stockport are a football league club, and they should be a football league club. But it's a concern to play some of that Stockport. We're clearly on the way back up. Everything looks like it's in the right direction. Obviously, decent manager, new manager coming, so let's see how that goes at the time. Yeah, it's a massive banana skin. I am concerned, but it's only the FA Cup. As I'm sure you guys, the league is the bread and butter, and that's what we want to concentrate on. But still, it is a concern that we might slip up.
Yeah. So if you had to sum it up, it's not the end of the interview or anything like that. But if you had to sum it up, what sort of overall overriding feeling would you go for in terms of playing us on Friday?
It's a little bit of a concern, but at the same time, it is, like I mentioned, it's a little bit of free hit because if we lose, I will be disappointed. but we've lost to Stockport County. Losing to Stockport doesn't sound as bad as losing to Bromley, if that makes sense.
Go on, tell us about it, mate.
We captured the nation's heart, didn't we? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
we're like Princess Diana.
So from that point, I know you're going to bring loads of fans as well, so it's going to be a decent atmosphere, at least from you guys anyway. I'm really looking forward to the game. I don't think there are that many Rotherham fans there, but it'd be a good atmosphere nevertheless. And like I said, I grew up with Stockport. We played Stockport all the time when I was a kid. So I'm looking forward to getting back playing Stockport. Not just blowing smoke on your podcast, guys. I am looking forward to playing Stockport again.
No, that's good. Yeah, we sold our allocation, haven't we? 2,600. What the sales like at Rotherham? I know you said there's not going to be many there. I mean, how many are we talking?
2,000 or 3,000 from our end. There won't be many at all.
Right.
I don't know why. It was one of those strange things. If we'd have gone played at your place, we'd have sold out our away allocation quite easily. But because it's at home, I think people are just still getting back into the room and going to football games as well as part of it. When we played League Cup, I think there were 4,000 there, something like that. And all the Football League trophy games have been quite poor attendance, but that's a different sort of thing. In the league, we're getting 9,000 fans every week. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we'll see 7,000 or 8,000, because when you get a good away attendance with even an okay home attendance at New York, our stadium, it just creates a really good atmosphere. And obviously we're going to get that from your end. I'm hoping we get some more fans at our end, but
so if there are a lot of home fans there, we can sing "You're Only Here for the County" in that case.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good shout.
Expect nothing less.
Looking at the players, then you're scoring quite freely. Michael Smith and I don't know the first name. Wiles has got 6, and Ben Wiles and Michael Smith's got 11. Wiles has got 6. Apart from those two, because they're the obvious, what other players should we look out for? Who should we have our eye on?
You got Chio Ogbene, we play 3-5-2. He's a wing back, but he plays as basically a striker for Ireland as an international. So he's one of those players that can do everything. He's lightning quick. He is so quick down that right hand side. But he isn't just a pace merchant. He can come back in. He can go back left foot, right foot. He is very, very dangerous. It's difficult to know how we're going to play, to be honest, because we've got another game on Tuesday, and we tend to, against Bromley, we've rotated quite a lot. But if we go strong, let's assume we're going to go strong, which I hope we will. We've got Dan Barlaser, is he's not a defensive midfielder, but he plays that quarterback role, sort of midfielder who sort of sits in a bit deep, and he can ping balls left, right, and centre. If you give him 3 or 4 yards of space, he will put the ball in the sixpence wherever he wants.
Did he used to play for Newcastle?
Yeah, we got him from Newcastle for about 200 or 300 grand, which is a complete steal. He is his best passer I've ever seen as Av. He is ridiculous. I mentioned Smithy and Wiles. Felo Dapo will probably start up top, who is a bit of a poacher. His work rate's questionable. He has improved it, but he scores goals. He's just one of those guys that just gets in the right place at the right time. Defensively, we look sound. I think we've got the lowest goals conceded in the League One so far. And we look like it. We were such a solid unit at the back. On paper, we look really good from front to back, but we're only one mistake away from it blowing up in his face, I suppose.
It's got 3 all draw written all over it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think it feels like it might be a step too far for us. I know we're off the back of a good winning against Spot, but it's a free hit for us. That's what I mean. I think. Well, that's my feeling anyway. It's a free hit. But yeah, I'm seeing some of the goals. I saw some of your goals this week on Twitter, and I just thought they are very good at football. So yeah,
very good at minute. Yeah.
So you mentioned the 3-5-2. What sort of style is it? Is it direct? Is it literally get it out to the wing backs, or?
It's a mix. We can go direct. We are billed, especially in Championship last year. We're billed as this big, strong, physical bullies who go to target man every chance we get. We can do that, but I don't think that's our strength. The best thing we can do is try and play out wide to get Chio on the right hand side. We've got Mikel Mill on the left, who is similar to Chio, but probably a bit rawer, and then Shane Ferguson also a left wing back who's just a bit smarter. So it is just get the ball out wide, try and get the ball into the box. Again, we can play it neat and tidy at the middle. We've scored some really good goals with the ball, with it coming through the 3 midfielders we've got. But we played Port Vale on Tuesday, as I mentioned, at Papa John's, and we could have had about 8 with the crosses we put in. The crosses were so good against them. If you allow those players to have time and put the ball into the box, it's going to cause you problems. And we almost got 1 on Tuesday, so we had juice, unfortunately.
This sounds familiar. Could be very interesting Friday night. It's just going to be 2 teams just whipping crosses in at every opportunity.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Yeah, and of course, just thinking of not similarities, but common themes. I guess Danny Bergara used to be the manager of Rotherham.
Yeah, he was the manager the season I first watched Rotherham, which was one of the worst seasons we've ever had. I think we finished second bottom in what is now League One. He is known as a bit of a disaster, unfortunately. It only lasted less than a season. Other than, if you forget about our last 4 or 5 years before Paul Warren took over, he's one of the records one of the worst we've had. So it's not a good link from our side.
Well done, Russ.
Yeah. Well, I was watching your pod, and one of your like co-presenters said it. Just mentioned the Danny Bergara connection, but then someone on Twitter said it's the Danny Bergara derby. And I thought, in my head, I was thinking, well, he must have done all right for them then, or for someone to remember. But if he didn't, then I do remember going to Millmore actually, and when Danny Bergara was in charge, and we were singing the old "Here's to you, Danny Bergara, Stockport loves you more than you will know." That was quite an experience. That was pretty good. I can't remember the score though.
We probably lost.
Yeah, I can't remember. Unless it wasn't. No, I can't remember what the score was. It escapes me. But yeah, very good. So yeah, we're pretty much, like I say, free hit. And if the players think like that, and that's the way they're sent out, like you say, Nick, it could be a bit of a basketball match, couldn't it?
Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I'm loving all this. It's like Keegan's Newcastle in the 90s at the moment, and I love it. I'm here for it. Completely fine with that.
It's a bit more controlled than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
From our point of view.
I mean, we did just win a cup game 5-3, and we've had a 5-0 and a 5-2 in that, and a couple of high-scoring euros.
And a 4-1 away, and against a very good informed team. Yeah. Okay.
Goals.
Yes. So I think we can all agree that there will be goals on Friday night.
Yeah, stick it on your bet. Stick it on your over 2.5 goals, Acker, and on your BTTS. Earn yourself some money.
Good stuff. Right, Matt. Many thanks for coming on.
Nice.
And I'll see you tomorrow on your show.
Tomorrow, yeah, absolutely.
Lovely stuff.
Oh, Russ is going to be really mean to you now. After being so nice here, he's going to come on your show and just. It's going to be awful. Just leaving a mess. There's going to be shit everywhere on the walls. It's going to be the worst. That's why he don't come to my house.
Right. Cheers, Matt.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate.
There we go. Matt from Rotherham United.
I think you scared him to death.
Yeah. He's probably glad I'm going on his show and not you, Nick.
I'm just slowly scaring everyone to death tonight. It's your turn next for us. By the way, love what you do and appreciate all the effort you put in. Not my words, the words of someone on yellow board about this show. So well done, mate.
Yeah, well done, Nick. Right, before we start on the county stuff, I've got to give a shout out to George, like a proper shout out.
Leave it out!
To George, who he was sat in front of us. He was little George, like 6 or 7 years old. He's in hospital at the moment. Big county fan. Always drags his dad to county. So get well soon, mate. He thinks I'm a YouTube star. I'm not, but he thinks I am because I'm on the telly. So fair enough to him.
He's going to be so disappointed when he finds out.
I know. Yeah. Well,
horrible truth.
No, I've told him though. I've told him. Right.
I think you're a big star, Russ. You'll always be a big star to me. Like, take that in shine.
I don't get the reference. I just don't get it.
I'm not going to sing, mate. Are you not into Take That? I thought you'd like mass appeal pop music like that.
I like some of the tracks they brought out. Yeah, it's disposable fun, isn't it?
Yeah, like this show.
Yeah.
That's one of the reviews, I think.
Is it fun? Because Chloe's face is suggesting it's not. Anyway, Wealdstone on Saturday. Did anybody go? Did you go, Chloe?
No,
No, neither did I. Nick?
no.
No, I've told you about. I've been chain eating roast dinners.
Of course.
I was elbow deep in some stuffing when that game was going on.
What did you think then?
We're making it look easy. Stop it. Stop making it look easy.
What, County? Or Russ?
Yeah.
No, County, okay.
Not us, bloody hell.
Listening on the radio, it seemed like it was a bit of a struggle in the first half, but then obviously Ollie took flight after that.
Oh, he's bloody good as well, isn't he? It feels like he's been with us for years.
Yeah, and he's younger than I thought as well.
How old is he? I don't even know how old he is.
I think I read that he was 23. I thought he was like late 20s.
Wow.
But yeah, so plenty of time for him to keep developing.
He's kind of done what you hope that when a striker comes in and does and scores a shitload of goals in his first few matches, or at least start off. I mean, he scored on his debut, I think, didn't he? And he just continued it from there. It's just so pleasing to see.
Yeah, because sometimes I think when they come in, you've got all your hopes up and you try to see what they're like, and if they don't score, you think, not sure about this guy.
Because when was the last? I can't think of the last centre forward. Certainly centre forwards. The last one we had who came in and just banged in goals. Maybe even Madden didn't. I think Madden score early on and then take a few games to get going. But other than that, obviously you've got the likes of Lloyd and Warburton, but I wouldn't class them as traditional strikers. I wouldn't with Crankshaw either. I won't class him as a centre forward.
No, he's not. I mean, I'm going back now, but Luke Beckett.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Beckett or maybe Feeney as well. I think Feeney scored in his first few games, didn't he?
He did, but he didn't go on really to do. I mean, he scored. He went on to score, but not like Beckett scored for us to be remembered. So the comments are coming in. Please do comment. We will read some out that are relevant to the conversation. There's a few here that have got suggestions. So Oswell, we've got Ross All who said Oswell could be classed as that.
Yeah.
And Eldin does spring to mind. Jamie Little says Anthony Eldin. I think that's a good shout.
Yeah, Kevin banged in a few, yeah.
But for those that were at the match, we're delighted to be joined live by Left Bollock because he doesn't normally watch us live. But he said in the first half we struggled and then battered him after that. I wouldn't say struggled, would you? Oh, was it 0-0 at half-time?
was it 1-0 at half time?
That's the problem with winning every week. It just you just forget. Won again, pissed it.
Oh, it was 1-0 at half time. Quickly scored, didn't he? Yes, quickly scored in the first half.
It's getting to the stage now. Like earlier this season, my girlfriend would say, like, get to like 5 o'clock on a Saturday. It's like, oh, how did County get on? But now it's getting to the stage where she's saying, oh, how many was it this week? But yeah, it was shit hot. Yeah, deal with it. And tell your dad as well while he's supporting Scunthorpe on their crusade to get relegated from the Football League. Yeah.
Do you think? Go on.
I think these long away games with teams that ordinarily you wouldn't really recognise. Like, I don't know where Wealdstone is. I have no idea. Like, I think they become a bit forgettable because you don't recognise the team as much as if it was a league team somehow. They sort of blend into one,
You can just put them in like, they should be in their own league. Like Wealdstone, Maidenhead, Boreham Wood, all that kind of Woking, Bromley. And then you can get like Gillingham, Peterborough, just all them types of places where you're like, where is it?
Yeah.
Get them all in one league so we don't have to bloody play them every week.
Yeah, it kind of it rung a bell when Matt before said about, it's not like playing a non-league team. He almost said that, didn't he, about County, as opposed to playing Bromley, who, we're only one place different to them. I think it's the same for me. Certainly, is when we play Wrexham, Grimsby, Chesterfield. It feels like a proper match.
Yeah.
When we play Wealdstone and the others, it just feels like, right. Well, we should be going there and winning anyway because we are stopped, regardless of investment. That's what I always thought. It's like when we went down as well, to National League North, playing the likes of bloody Bradford Park Avenue, and I was just thinking, we go there and win.
We didn't go down that. That didn't happen. There was 6 years where there was no football, Russ. It was like with the war. It was just like no leagues.
It's
we
funny,
got relegated and we stopped.
I watched earlier this week. I watched Ben Walker's video. Talking about the kits through the kit presentation, and he said something that really made me think. He's absolutely right when he talks about the kits where we were in National League North. He basically said we should look at these as with the same sort of love as the ones where we're in the Championship, because it's still part of our history and we shouldn't just dismiss them. I was like, no, you're absolutely right, because I've always thought of National League North with a bit of disdain. We should never have been there, and I just want to forget about it. But I think we should, now we're out of it and we had that experience, we should embrace it.
I'll quite have to say a lot of my best times supporting County have been we're in that league, because that's the time where I've most consistently been to a lot of away games in my whole life. That's where I've been to the most away games. So it was like going out with my mates every time. But if you told me 10 years ago that one day we'd have a kit that we played in Division 6, I'd assume it was just like some old fucking potato sack, and a pair of matching shorts or something. But they're actually like proper kits and stuff. Never saw that coming. But I think we can now look back at it and be like, it was all right. If we hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor, Russ.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. It just resonated with me, and seeing some of the kits and his knowledge as well about the performances that we had in those kits is amazing. And seeing some of the kits that I bought my son, do you know what I mean? I bought him the full kit with players' boots on the front. It's like, we've gone from Robinsons to players' boots. It's unbelievable, isn't it, when you think about it? So for the game on Saturday, for one of the, I can't remember if it's the second or the third, but Nemo Dat Quad Non Habet.
Maybe just don't bother reading the names.
Yeah, maybe I just won't bother reading the names. Can we take a moment to appreciate Ryan Rydell-Teckers for that assist at the weekend? Absolutely. He did the I don't know what Danny Bergara called it.
The Teckers turn, the little shuffle.
It's got a name. I'll dig out a video of Danny Bergara teaching that exact move. There's a video out there on YouTube.
It's not the Maradona turn, is it?
No.
I don't know. The kid, all the skill moves on FIFA must be wrong then.
Yeah, they are, yeah. Well, they are. Danny Bergara was teaching these before them, so they must have existed before Maradona and Rabona.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't tell me that like before Johan Cruyff did a Cruyff turn, no one had ever done that.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
And it's like all of a sudden he does it. It's like, oh, hello. There's probably some like Sunday League player in the Netherlands whose ankles are fucked from doing that like 50 times a game. It's like, oh, where's my bloody statue and shit?
Just got another comment here from Andy Birchenough. Russ, you do know Players Boots are an actual local company just like Robinson's. Yes, I do know that. That wasn't what I was pointing out.
No. It was a much less recognisable local company. If you say Stockport to people, if Stockport was on Family Fortunes, who does it now? It's that annoying Gino bloke, innit? If it's on Family Fortunes and he's like, hey, things you associate with Stockport, like Robinson's would be top 3 answers, I think.
I think it would, yeah. I think it would. Right, back to the game. Let's talk about the game. We're just not talking about the game. We want to talk about football. Lovely goal from Crankshaw. Obviously, lovely setup for that one. The third one was a bit of his third, I think it was a bit of a gift, wasn't it, from their defence? But let's not take it away from County, obviously. Wealdstone were above us in the form table before Saturday. One of the pundits on BT Sport called them a resolute team, and they were really, really impressed that we went there and scored 4.
It is impressive, I think. Going into, I mean, it's one of, I think with the confidence now, we're expecting to just go out and beat anyone anyway. So I think when you're also top of the form table doesn't come into it as much. I find, because you're just going into it with. I remember in 96, 97, I think it was Chris Marsden saying you don't feel the tiredness as much when you're winning games, and that's it. You just end up on autopilot, don't you? And with the strength in the side, we've got enough to beat, I think, about 9 out of 10 teams in this league without having to like go right through the gears.
I think that's it. I think that when Challoner arrived, he's seen the quality that there is in the team, and he made winning sound like it was normal. The way he talked about is like, if we do this and we do our job properly, then we'll win. It's not like some mystical, unachievable goal. It's like 1 + 1 is 2. If we do our job, we'll win. And he's sort of managed to unlock the potential that was just already there, and it was clearly just lying dormant, because you wouldn't have been able to change things around so quickly if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, but it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, he has unlocked it, and it's almost like he unlocked it within a couple of days of arriving for that Bolton match, that 2-2 away. How has he done that? What could he have possibly have done to unlock it that quickly?
Maybe it's just a case of like walking in on the first day and just calling each player in and just say, right, what was the last manager telling you to do? Right, do the opposite of that going forward. I think it's just. Do you think Russ is? Do you know on Football Manager when you get sacked, and then a few months on, you think, oh shit, I should have played this system. I should have done this. And then you realise that would have saved you a job. Do you reckon Rusk has done that yet? Do you reckon he's
I can't imagine I can't imagine what he must be thinking right now. It's not going to be very good for his self-confidence, is it?
No. Or his CV, I wouldn't have thought. No. Right. So, right. All right. Yeah. Let's go serious for a second. What do we think he's actually done? And obviously not just do the opposite of Rusk. Yeah. What has he actually done?
Don't be frivolous, Nick.
I think that mentality is such an underrated thing in football. It's such a key thing, and I think that if you've been listening to the same voice over and over and over, and maybe you don't agree with what they're saying, there were times that I've noticed that players were sort of blaming each other, arguing a bit, before Challoner came in, and there was that tension within the squad. And I think there's obviously the new manager bump. That's a thing that happens a lot, even when they're not going to continue to do well long term. But I think when they come in and there's a different voice and a much more positive voice, and they're playing, I don't know, I think they've just been given a structure, but also more freedom to express themselves, because it felt like they were stifled before. But yeah, I think that mentality that he's clearly, I think on some of the coverage of the BBC coverage, they showed him in the dressing room, and the players were all looking at him. They were riveted, and he's got a presence. I think he makes it simple, but he's quite engaging. So I just think he's really captured their attention, and it's just making such a difference.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. And like this is just a few weeks in when he's like properly got his feet under the table. It's just mental.
Yeah, feet under the table, and maybe his own signings as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
I know he's worked with some of these players before in South Wales and Kitching, I think. Maybe one or two others. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Walker, Crowsdale, Hinchliffe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Reed. Yeah. I think he did say in one interview, didn't he? When you got Reed there, and Reed's like the third choice or something, isn't he? And you mentioned Reed a couple of times, and it's so good to have that strength in depth, but also a manager that knows what he's got. I think you're right with the stifle comment. I think that he's. I almost got the feeling that Rusk was too scared of losing matches, so it was like let's keep a clean sheet, but sort of nick 1-0s, which is fine if you're doing that and you can see that, but it wasn't happening, was it?
You can't play not to lose. You just can't. You end up losing. You end up you know, if you take that approach, because you're already putting it in the players' minds that there's a possibility that you might lose.
Yes,
it's no good.
It breeds nervousness, doesn't it? And that's going to happen. So the pressing, loads of people have commented. Too many have commented about the pressing. But yeah, the pressing's just been a revelation. But it's the same. You've got the same tools in the box, haven't you? So he's, you know, all right, lads, let's press. We'll score more than them because you've got the talent. And here's a bit of a system to work to. Off you pop. That's what it feels like to me. Could
it be that previously, like, Russ was overcomplicating it? Could it be that he was giving them too many instructions, and challengers just sort of kept come in and simplified it all down, and that's what's done it? I don't know.
Yeah. It's a very interesting kind of path there, because that was one of the things that Jim got accused of when he was manager, was kind of like overcomplicating things, which I think you kind of saw in some of his team selections sometimes. Sometimes they come off and sometimes they wouldn't. And then, yeah, to kind of like make the switch to Rusk, who must have done something completely different. And then it does feel with the Challoner appointment, it's almost a lot closer to the Jim Gannon way of doing things. It's almost like, we do need a bit of both. We kind of found that line in the middle now.
And Rusk as well, he'd managed under 23s, and I think that must be quite different, because you're not really playing that team to win necessarily. The main aim is to develop individual players. So did he struggle with that team ethic? You know, did he struggle to adjust his focus towards doing well as a team rather than improving individuals? I don't know. It must be a different focus.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and we spoke about this on the pod in the past, that, you know, with that under 23 setup, you're there to develop players. You're not there with 5,000 fans paying customers behind you, wanting their team to win and being upset when they're not. It's a completely different environment. So yeah, I think we've done enough on Rusk anyway.
It's a lifetime, mate.
I know. So it's more about Challoner now. So let's move on to the game on Friday. Rotherham away. I mean, we can come back to the league at some point, obviously, but Friday. I know we just spoke to Matt about it. What are your thoughts about Friday, Chloe?
I think, really, like we said, I think I didn't realise until a bit after the draw that Rotherham were doing so well. So when the draw came out, I thought, could get through to the third round. But then I've seen how well they're doing, and you know, it's a different thing when a team's full of confidence, isn't it? Because clearly Bolton weren't.
Yep.
So yeah, I just hope that we go and give a good account of ourselves. It's fun in the crowd and good atmosphere. You can't really ask for more, can you? The priority has to be the league, and anything that comes in the cup is just a bonus. Yeah,
that's how I feel. Definitely.
Same. For what it's worth, I do think we'll get something though.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Look at me being negative. I'm not being negative. I'm being a realist.
Every time, Russ. Sometimes I think you just want us to fail.
I just think the gap of 2 divisions and they're playing well in 2 divisions higher than us says a lot.
But as we've said, like pretty much every week, though, it's only 2 divisions by league. You know what I mean? Look on paper, most of our players are League One quality. If you look at the 11 we'll have out, on paper, it's no worse than theirs, really.
I think it probably is slightly worse than theirs. I do keep on looking at their other results to see if I can pull out some positives, and I can. You know, Port Vale, who I think they sort of mid to top table in League Two at the moment. They got a draw last night against them. So, and I think they struggled as well in another game to a team down near the bottom of League One. So, I kind of hope we go there and really give a really good account of ourselves. That's how I felt about Bolton. And look what we did to Bolton. So,
and if they've only got a few fans, as what the Rotherham guy thought that they would only have a few, like 2,000-3,000 maybe. If we go there making a load of noise, it does make a difference. It definitely does. So that could be a factor.
Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely play a part in that, don't we? Yeah, let's just hope we can and get into that third round draw. That'd be really, really nice. PJRC says he just wants to go and have a party. Anything else is a bonus.
All right, Primal Scream. He wants to be free to do what he wants to do.
Oh, right, yes.
He wants to party. He wants to have a good time.
And like Edgy says, unbeaten runs don't last forever. This is very true. So they're going to come unstuck at some point.
The real unbeaten run is the memories we enjoyed along the way, as I'm sure you'll agree, mate. Together.
Did you notice that if we do get through to the third round, that it's probably going to be the same weekend we're supposed to play Chesterfield at home?
I can take it's Chesterfield at home. I can take that being a weeknight. That's fine. If it's, mind you, Russ will be quite happy when we get like Reading or Gillingham away in the next round. But Russ will be delighted with that because that's a good FA Cup draw apparently.
What are you talking bullshit for? I didn't say that. All I said was I was saying that the focus is the league, so I wasn't bothered that we got Rotherham away.
Well, shall we come on to that? The focus being on the league with the FA Trophy draw, we have got Grimsby at home.
Yeah.
Now, I think I don't know if I'm in a minority. I want to see us properly go balls out for the FA Trophy. Not at the expense of the league, but it shouldn't be at the expense of the league anyway. Looking at the squad we've got about 87 players. And we probably are the favourites to win it, if not like top three. I think we should be going for it. It did us no harm when we won the title a couple of years ago. It did us no harm in 96, 97. Can't beat a good bloody cup run. And then get to the final and we've got a day out at Wembley after we've got promoted. Imagine that.
I mean, that would be lovely.
A day out at Wembley with no pressure. Just
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great. I definitely see it as, I wouldn't say go balls out to win it, like as you described it, but I think it's a good chance to play some of the players that don't normally play or need match practice. And with the players that we've got that fit that bill, we're going to beat 9 out of 10 teams, aren't we? That we come across.
Do you think Grimsby's a good draw in that respect? Then, how do you, as the appointed gatekeeper on how we should feel about FA Cup draws, Russ? How should the fan base be feeling about Grimsby at home in the trophy?
Don't put that pressure on me. Don't put that on me. It's how I feel. I feel well. I just like shrugged my shoulders when I saw it. It's like, oh, I've got Grimsby at home. Yeah.
You did the Alan Partridge gift, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? It's not Brazil away, is it?
All right. Are you getting like money for every time you do that? I know it's any time there's a cup draw, you do tweet it an awful lot. It's gone from just being a throwaway comment on one podcast to like it's taken a life of its own now. That joke. I'm going to be seeing banners up by the motorway. What do you want, Brazil away?
What do you think, Chloe? Are you asked about the FA Trophy?
I have to say no. I can't. As much as I think I probably should show some interest, I just can't get interested in it at all. I just couldn't care less.
To be honest, I'm just thinking purely about the piss up, really.
For Wembley.
If already been promoted, yeah. It'd be good to finally have somewhere to do that.
Yeah, but it's got its pros and cons on it. It can be a distraction, or it can help you with momentum. Like
you say, if it gives some of the fringe players a run out, then can't be a bad thing, can it?
No, I mean it'd be good to test ourselves against Grimsby because obviously we drew 0-0 at home with them with a team that was playing poorly, and they kind of slightly picked up since then.
7-3 it is. Bad.
Well, this is it. It could be a case of when we put a team out that's not far from the first team, trying to do a bit of rotation, and we absolutely smash them, and that would be a statement. That would be more of a statement for the league than it would for the cup. That's what I think about that.
We're getting into the habit of that kind of shithousery, though, aren't we? It's like we gave Bolton a 2-goal head start, And then even after we got one back, I was like, "Fuck it, lads, have another one." I want to have another one and watch what we do to you.
Yeah,
so
but
I kind of got into that.
I hope that as time goes on, and I think we've probably seen it already, those mistakes will start. They'll plug them. Challenger won't be having any of that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I think that's the thing that'll take slightly longer to fix. Won't it? It's it's easier to fix the attack in some ways.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, FA Trophy, yeah. Not bothered.
Really? I'm going to make myself a little tinfoil FA Trophy, Russ.
Do you even know what it looks like?
Well, I will come May.
Hey!
And as a bonus, I'll also know what the FA Vars looks like because the two finals are on the same day. So you can go and heckle some people who play football part-time, like the old days. We can do that and then watch the real big boys bring home the FA Trophy. Imagine that, a league and cup double, because we're winning the league. So I'm just turning my attention. I've got the league wrapped up in my head. I'm just turning my attention to what else we can. I'll have the Cheshire Cup and all.
You see, you're either completely one end of the scale or completely the other, aren't you? When things are going bad, you want everyone to be sacked.
I still want everyone to be sacked, mate, because then the club will go to shit and I can buy it for like a £5 with all the work having been done on the ground and that. Jobs are good then. I can be like, I saved the club.
Let's move on. Loyalty system. That's got a lot of airing recently because of
day trippers.
Yeah, I mean, United and City fans in SK areas getting tickets, and obviously county fans not being able to.
Good of them to help us out, I say. Come one, come all.
Loads of spares going online. But if you've seen those,
yeah, it's always someone with like a picture of Timo Werner as the Twitter picture, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I've got 18 spares for the Stockport game. Oh! What's happened?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because this is going to happen more and more as we go up the leagues. And I guess, I mean, I've never really been close to a big club, in terms of the ticketing and stuff. But Chloe, I guess you have from a Fiorentina perspective.
They have like supporters cards, but they don't. In Italy, they don't really travel away in numbers like we do, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, it is something that needs fixing. I remember when it was the promotion season, and me and my dad didn't have season tickets that year, and we collected ticket stubs from the home games, and that meant you could get tickets for the home league games. That meant you could get tickets for the Coca-Cola Cup matches and that. So I wonder if that's something, because obviously not everybody can afford a season ticket, but maybe, well, we don't have ticket stubs anymore, but if you had proof that you'd been to certain home games, that then you could. But yeah, I guess there's no easy answer, is there really?
Dave Espley's told a story about that Middlesbrough game on here before, about they were giving out stewards were giving out vouchers that entitled you for a ticket. You could take it to the ticket office and swap it for a ticket, and they're basically going to the end of the row and saying, "Oh, take one and pass them along." And people were just taking like 50 vouchers.
Really? Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, just go into the ticket office with a fake mustache on and another voucher, and just so many people missed out on that because people just helped us. But I think the card kind of way is the best way of doing it. But then you need to almost like give it its own currency, because you need to know how much is it worth if you go and buy a replica kit in the club shop. How many points does that get you? How many points does go into a home game get you? Is it going to be weighted against your home address? So if people live in Wales and come to a home game every week, does that gain them more points or not? There's a lot to think about. Yeah,
it is difficult. I'm not really. I'm not sure if club shop purchases or concourse purchases should come into it. Because what if you can't afford? All you can do is afford to go to the match, and you can't afford anything other than that.
That's the thing, innit? You don't want to penalise people who you know, where the finances is tight, and some people don't like replica kits, or they don't spend money in the club shop.
Yeah.
I don't really spend any money in the club shop.
Yes, it's a good discussion, isn't it? So, Jamie Little, I've got to put this up. Could Fan Hub help with loyalty schemes in the future as proof of attendance at the very least? I mean, it kind of does now, does Fan Hub. So you've got that league table of people who've travelled to matches and things like that. So it kind of is working towards that, I guess. But in terms of the club, that's I think they've got to think outside the box in how they do this. And you're right, Nick. It's got to have its sort of its own currency. But where do you draw the line on some things? Because someone's going to lose out at some point, aren't they?
Yeah, there's going to be people not happy on it.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's the thing with tickets. Like, you're never going to please everybody.
No.
Like, my son's just got a job in the ticket office, and he has been telling me that, you know, all the info that we all know immediately from social media. There's older people that come to the ticket office and they're like, you know, oh, I'd like a Bolton ticket, please. And he's like, well, they're all gone. But well, I didn't hear anything about it. You know, there are genuinely people who have no idea what's going on online still.
Yeah.
I guess it's a bit baffling, but.
Well, yeah, you've got to cater for those people, though, haven't you? And I think the club have a responsibility to do that.
Yeah.
And by having a good customer relationship management system, is what they call it. I think you can do that and contact people in different ways, and they've got to really be creative on how they do it. But take learnings from other clubs. I know other clubs obviously do have this. I've heard from both City and United fans that it's not fair in certain aspects. You know, United fans, I think, are charged up front for their cup matches.
Yeah.
It's just taken out of their account.
I heard that.
Yeah, there's all sorts of that stuff I think United were the first ones to do that, I think. But it's any club that's in the Champions League and the Premier League does that now, I think. Yeah.
I don't think we're that kind of club, are we? Where I don't think we would treat fans like customers in that respect.
I'd really hope not.
No, I think they'd be. I'd hope the co-op would have something to say about that as the voice of the fans.
Look at Man City. The people who sit next to the dugouts, next to the tunnel, have all been turfed out because they want this like new executive area. It's some tunnel club.
Yeah. It's got a big. It's all perspex, so you can see. You sat there eating, and you see the players walking out.
Yeah,
I
mean, anyone who needs a 3-course meal before a match anyway shouldn't be there.
Yeah, every week.
If you're going to a match and wondering what the catering's going to be like, eating's cheating.
I don't know. I do it every now and again for my birthday, but yeah. I mean, I think we could probably all agree though that the type of fans that we don't want to get tickets ahead of a proper county fan, if you like, are the SK-based United and City fans.
Yeah, I think we should go as far as putting the names on a register and having like weekly ritual humiliations. just like drag them out by the statue of Cobden in St. Peter's Square and just flog them. It's what you get.
Maybe you should have to like take in like your program collection from the early 90s or something, just to prove.
I just go up and show this podcast. I just go to the ticket office. I'm like, And they're like, oh, well, you're definitely not having a ticket now. I'm going to give it to some Man City fan in front of you.
Yeah, it's funny. I did a poll on Twitter and on YouTube as well, on the YouTube community. And yeah, 75% on both said that yes, we need some sort of loyalty system. It's just how do we implement that and make it fair? Here's a good one. Mike Fitzgerald, tattoo for every fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the face.
Do you know what? That's a really fair way of doing it.
Yeah. But to be fair, if you're enforcing it, it's less of a tattoo and more of a branding, isn't it? It gets a bit murky, like ethically there.
More of a prisoner stamp, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your season ticket barcode tattooed on your wrist.
Oh, good stuff. It wasn't long ago though, was it, that we had season ticket books?
Yeah,
You
my
took
last
one
season
out?
ticket was in the form of a book.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm getting one next year. I didn't get one this year, not because I couldn't afford it, just because I didn't agree with the style of play. And I'm glad they proved me wrong. They showed me. Oh.
It's funny though. I've never not bought a season ticket because of how we're doing or the style of play.
No, me neither normally. But with the money that's been spent with a bunch of League One players, I didn't want to pay 200, 300 quid up front to watch us go defensive every week. And I don't want to be smug about it, but I told you so.
Well, smug or not smug, I still stand by it. That wouldn't have swayed my choice to buy a season ticket or not. Maybe I might be in the minority there, but I just blindly buy one.
I decided to get a new base instead. It was a toss-up.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have got the half-season ticket sales now. We had the Super 10 a few years ago, didn't we? Which is pretty good.
Yeah, it's basically the same idea, isn't it? But this is all the home games, isn't it? You can't just... Because before, you picked 10, wasn't it?
Right, yeah. Which is
now
better, I think. Picking 10's better.
Do they start after Christmas? I think they
Yeah,
start
it starts
in
with
January.
the Chesterfield game, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which will obviously be played later because of our involvement in the FA Cup third round, obviously.
Well, it's
When
quite...
Russ is traipsing up to Reading. Traipsing down to Reading like, yeah, this is the best draw we could have had.
But it's quite cute, isn't it? Because mind you, not if the FA Trophy if we have a run in that. I was just thinking, we're usually going to be out of the FA Cup, so there's no big matches to go to, is there? Do you know what I mean? We'll come back to that word currency of the season ticket and the weight that it carries because you get first dibs on the tickets is lost because we're generally out of the FA Cup.
And another bonus for season tickets, you don't have to pay for a wee in Piccadilly Station. You know where you have to pay the little thing, 30p, to go to the toilets at Piccadilly Station. You just show the guy your season ticket and he just and scream a bit, and he just lets you through. Even lets you use the disabled one.
I tell you what has been a really good bonus of the season ticket actually is the 10% off at the bar and the concourse and the food and things. That it's bringing my pints down to £3.60, which is a good price for a pint.
It's a very reasonable price for a pint.
They are reasonable. The Heineken's not too bad either.
They actually clean the lines now, which is another. I mean, the staff must have had to go on like a training course for that because it's never been done before. In all my years of drinking at County, I've never had a pint that tasted like what I'd ordered.
What's your pre-match ritual, Chloe? Where do you normally sit? Where do you go? Do you have a drink before the match or?
No, not usually. Just go straight in and come back, and it's usually a coffee, not an alcohol.
You don't want to prolong the agony, do you? And if you drink like the right amount or the wrong amount, then it's going to like slow time down, and you do want it to be like 90 minutes in and out. Yeah.
It's probably a bit geeky, this, but I don't like being drunk at football. I like to be able to remember it and concentrate on it and have all my faculties.
Fair enough.
It's probably a controversial opinion, but
to be honest, I'm going that way now. Like up until like a couple of years ago, I was a strong advocate of lads, let's drink, and all that shit. But now I quite regularly just get in the ground at like 10 to 3. And yeah, it's quite nice. I feel like Pete Doherty after he gave up the smack. Just seeing the world differently. Writing new songs, worse, but new.
In HD, seeing everything in HD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent a lot of my early 20s not remembering the games because I was just drunk, in the games. As I grew older and kids came along, it was just a coffee, and it still is generally just a coffee, unless I'm out. But yeah, you miss it. Do you know what? As well, I did a bit of opposition scouting, and attended matches, and that is not a good way to watch a match because your head hurts at the end. It really does. So yeah, avoid the alcohol and don't be an opposition scout. There you go.
Just rules for life.
Yeah, not just rules for going to the footy. But yeah, good stuff. Have we finished on the loyalty system? Do you want to make one up now? Should we tout one?
The only thing I was wondering is if there's an example of another club that's doing it well somewhere that we could find. You know, there might be another team where the fans say it's working really well or something like that.
That's the next right. That's your homework, Russ.
Yes, I'll do that.
Speak to all the fans of all the other clubs and find out which ones are doing it.
Football Supporters Association might be able to help.
There you go, Russ.
Yes, there you
Middleman.
go. Yes. Oh, can I just say as well, while you just mentioned the Football Supporters Association, that's just rung a bell. We were nominated for in the Northwest Football Awards for Podcast of the Year, but we lost to a Rochdale podcast.
I'm not bothered. I'm not bitter or anything about it.
No.
But what I will say, the balance between informative and knowledgeable, whilst also staying light-hearted and funny, is just right. That's from Rotherham on the yellow boards. So I know whose opinion matters more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, our listeners' opinions.
Yeah. Although if we'd gone to the awards, maybe they would have given us I think that's our problem.
We don't turn up. Well, if we turned up, we'd win. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why they message us like a couple of days before and go, "Oh, do you want a free ticket, lads?" Wink, wink.
Well, I'm gonna make a point of going next year. Let's put it that way.
Let's go get suited, shall we?
The Content Awards and the Northwest Football Awards. But yeah, FSA would be a good shout. But also, I'll do that with some of the contacts I've got at other podcasts as well. So that's a growing list on a almost weekly basis. I'm in the know, Nick. I'm in the know. You see, you turn up and do an intro. I'm doing all the stuff. You know, I'm the legs of the swan. You see.
Yeah, you're the. I'm the shop window. You're the goods in the back.
Yeah,
I'm the front of Argos. I'm the little books, like tablets now, innit? I'm the tablets, and you're just the maze of shit out the back.
Yeah, I think the analogies ran on too long. Friday's game, just a quick one on Friday's game. Is it being shown anywhere? I heard that some stream was going to have it, but
Eurosport, I think, really? But not in this country. So you'd have to find a.
But that may well just be text coverage, because I think the same thing happened with the Rochdale game in the cup last year. Well, I'm not sure.
Sorry. When I was ill for the Bolton away, so I couldn't go, but managed to get a stream of it, a really good stream at home, and watched it at home. And I think that was something like Eurosport or something.
People are saying it's on ESPN in America and it's live in Australia as well, apparently. So I'd imagine there'll be some stream. Just as long as people don't comment the actual link in here, we won't get our video taken down. Right, Russ, it's time to wrap up the show before people rush to post a link in there. Quick!
Right, okay. Anything more? I mean, it's probably a good time to wrap up the show, actually.
Tom Walker is back from his loan.
Tom Walker's back, yes.
It's another bit of news this week. Hopefully we'll see more of him in his actual position.
Correct position, yes. Yes.
And he's playing now under a manager who knows his position and stuff and isn't just going to shunt him at wing back. So I'm just waiting for the Grimsby game now where Walker's going to play at wing back.
Why the Grimsby game? Because he's going to come in as a
player. That's going to be the big fringe player showcase.
El Fringico.
Yeah. Oh yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so he's back. There's been no other movements, has there? Did you see the Ethan Pye Get to Know Me or something, whatever it's called?
Getting to know you. Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it's good. It's good. He's one of the players I certainly wanted to get to know. Actually, he's one of the new boys, isn't he? That we've not really seen that much of.
Yeah, yeah, he is. You could do one a week, couldn't you, with the squad we've got, and still be here in 18 months. Well, no, yeah, 18 months time or whatever. I'd like to see more. I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Ethan Pye, yeah, great, but I'd like to see more from any of the players really.
Who would you like to get to know next?
Quigley. I think I've got a bromance going on with Quigley. I think he's
Well,
fantastic.
it's not. It's you've got a thing for Quigley. You've not got a bromance going on with him because that suggests that it's
two ways.
Suggests that you're both involved in it.
Yeah, it's bi-directional. It's not. It's only.
I'd be willing to bet quite a lot of money that he doesn't know you exist.
No, this is true. This is true. Yeah, I just think he's great. Viva Scott Quigley. He holds the ball up so well, and yeah, he's
a top shit house. Got a good bit of shit house in his locker as well.
There you go. Yeah, so that would be the one that I'd like to get to know more. What about you, Chloe? Who would you like to see to get to know more on that video?
I think it would be quite interesting to, and I was kind of thinking about this for a sort of a future podcast idea for my day job podcast, to learn a bit more about Ben Hinchliffe when he was part-time and driving the lorry. I want to know what that was like and how he managed to train and all that, because it's quite a tough life, that, isn't it, lorry driving? And to be at the standard he was at as a goalkeeper at the time, I just thought that was brilliant. That
could be like an HBO series, that. Right, but Ben Hinchliffe, right, on his travels, he sees a serial killer who's also a lorry driver, and basically tracks him across the country. Right, I'm getting on writing that. That's happening.
That would be pretty good.
Coming soon to HBO and Sky Atlantic, or whatever it's called nowadays.
Yeah, you're right, because it must have been really, really tough, that, because they don't get an easy life, lorry drivers, do they? And I remember he missed one or two matches.
There was the odd game that he'd miss it because he had to work a Saturday.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's a really good shout. That's a really good shout. What about you, Nick? Who would you like to?
I just told you.
Who was it?
Can't remember. Don't know. All of them. I want to know all of them, which is amazing considering 3 months ago we didn't really have that connection with all these new players, and now we've got it. Now I just want to lie in a bed with them all, like American Beauty. But it's just all county players, and I'm writhing like a worm in bleach.
Yeah, South of Wales would be the next one for me as well, because he looks like he's pretty fun character. Yeah, pretty good, and he's Welsh as well, isn't he? I bet he can't speak Welsh though.
You can.
I can do a bit.
Maybe you should interview. Right, Southern Wales. Maybe it should be you.
In Welsh.
In Welsh. Yeah.
Maybe not. Okay, let's wrap it up there. Okay, we've got some admin to do. I think the first thing to say is we are on 570 something YouTube subscribers. We want to get to 1,000. So we've joined up with 8 days a week to win a county shirt and a bit of a county merch bundle when we get to 1,000. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button too, because it all helps with the algorithms and the comment.
The thumbs up button. Oh, that is the like button, isn't it?
That's the like button. That's the like button. Also, we've got a bit of announcement. I see people drop off at this point, but they're going to miss the announcement. Date provisionally is the 20th of January, but we're going to have a night in Notion above 8 days a week with Mike Flynn and Gary Stotforth. So me and Nick are going to live host a podcast with Mike Flynn and Gary Stotforth. We're calling it the Butterfly Effect. And everybody must get that, I guess.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And then Rob Brittner, a friend of the podcast, he's going to do a bit of a set for us. He's a singer-songwriter. Yeah, he writes songs with Palaver, but he's going to do a set of oldie goldies. Olden Goldies, I think we're calling it. Yeah.
Golden Oldies.
Golden Oldies, that's what it is.
Third time's always a charm, isn't it, mate?
So he does stuff like the Beatles, Johnny Cash, Buddy Holly, that kind of thing, bit of Elvis. So that'll be a good night. So we'll release details about that, 20th of January. Pretty good, that, Nick, should it?
Yeah, it's going to be all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you going to do a bit of a set as well?
I'll get up and introduce things, and if people want to laugh and clap along, then they can do that.
Clap along.
Whatever happens. Yeah, like with the rhythm of how I talk.
Right.
So like with every syllable, they've got to go in.
Fan Hub app. Do get on the Fan Hub app if you haven't already. There's loads of codes going out there. 568 county fans in the app. Yeah.
Chloe, what is your day job podcast? Plug.
Yeah, tell us about that.
It is called The Playmaker, and it's the idea is it's every weekday. It's no more than 10 minutes long, and it's a different story every day from the world of football. So we try and tell things that are like beyond just, oh, so and so is the best player or whatever. So yeah, I think considering our fan base and the way that they are, I think they would quite enjoy some of the stories that we'd have. So it'd be great if you have a listen.
I today listened to an episode all about vanishing spray.
Oh, that wasn't me.
Oh,
that wasn't mine.
Yeah, I saw someone commented about it on Facebook, on Twitter, saying, "Oh, your voice has changed." And then I
do 4 out of 5 in the week. So,
well, if you listen to this podcast and you know who Boonab is, then the Playmaker podcast is going to be for you because it's obscure stuff. And like you said, it's not just, oh, who's better, Messi or Ronaldo? It's like everyone's having that discussion. Go away.
Yeah, try and be a bit different.
Yeah.
It definitely is under the bonnet. I've noticed that about 12:30 every day, there's a Twitter Spaces as well. Is that you guys as well? Tortoise, is it?
Tortoise is a company that I work for. Actually, We're supposed to call it Tortoise.
Or Tortoise.
I get told off for Tortoise. Yeah, so it's basically a news company. They've only just branched out into doing the football podcast, but they're sort of independent and they try and do slow news, hence Tortoise, without any sort of agenda or they try and just tell the facts, which I think is quite welcomed in this day and age.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I do enjoy them, I've got to say. I only joined one of the Twitter Spaces one. I think you were talking at the time.
It was about the Afghanistan girls team.
That's right. Yeah, that was quite interesting. Should we just have a quick mention actually before we get on some more admin about the women's England team 20-0 against Latvia? I think it was last night. Did anybody see that? No.
Yeah, there's a lot of old men getting very bothered about it. I saw that. Yeah,
there's a bit of that, but I drew comparisons to when we played San Marino, when the men's played San Marino and won 10-0, and that age-old argument is trudged up again of, well, they shouldn't be on the same pitch, and it was absolutely the same for this game, 20-0 against Latvia. I mean, I'm in the goalkeepers union. I was seeing some of the goalkeeping that the Latvian keeper was the standard that she was playing at, and I was just thinking, I felt so sorry for her. She's probably crumbling. She probably doesn't play in front of anybody regularly, and she's playing at a level that shouldn't arguably be on the same pitch as that. You add the crowd to that, and the pressure she must be under, and so it's understandable the mistakes that she was making. And yeah, I think the Nations League, I think they need to introduce something like that for the qualifiers in the women's, because it pitches you against teams of the same standard as you, and then
there's no joy in humiliating somebody, is there really?
No. At any level,
unless it's Bolton.
Well, that's what makes me laugh about you. You see people like retweeting the video of the goals of the goalkeeper attempting a goal kick, and they'll say something like, "Oh, it's shocking. They shouldn't even be playing on the same pitch." And then you look, and it's like from a Man United fan. It's like, well, you can fucking talk, mate.
I just don't even engage in those comments. They're just absolutely ridiculous. So, that one came out as well again last night. Oh, equal pay. Blah, blah, blah. You don't know your ass from your elbow, mate. Just stick to your Facebook group, eh? You just come back to your Facebook group. So yeah. Well, anyway. So yeah, I thought I'd mention that. Right, more admin. There's only one more bit of admin that I wanted to mention, actually. I don't know if you've got anything that I've forgotten, Nick, but Engage Life friend of the podcast and co-founder, actually, of the @podcast Twitter handle, Dave Schofield.
He's not watching, Russ. You don't have to call. He's not watching. You don't have to call him a co-founder.
He'll watch it back. He'll watch it back. And then you'll get the hashtag Nick out.
Oh, again. Great. I can't wait for that.
So he started back up. I don't know why he's been away. I need to chat to him. But yeah, if you see those retweeted by us, please do have a look. Helping kids that have maybe gone on the wrong path in Greater Manchester, giving them a safe place to go to learn music, to learn martial arts and things like that, and just generally get them on the right path. So that's a pretty good initiative, and we'll be retweeting stuff like that.
You mentioned about that going a bit quiet. There was basically a bit of a dispute about getting a space with Stockport Council. He's now, I believe it's Stretford. Yeah, Stretford Arndale, not far from there, I believe. I might even be in there. And then he's agreed something with Stockport Council that Engage Life are on their priority list to get a space in the borough again, which is very good. Just to put some more meat on the bones of that. Yeah,
it's definitely a worthy cause. So, do retweet and have a look at the videos that are coming out from that. Okay. Anything else? No? Right. In that case, then, thanks for coming on, both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Matt earlier for joining us, and thanks to everybody for commenting. Please, again, do subscribe, like, and comment. It really does mean a lot to us. And yeah, happy days. See you later.
Alligator.
This is the Scarf Bergara War, a Stockport County fan-created podcast, blog, YouTube live show and website. Find us at thescarfbergarawar.co.uk. For county fans, by county fans.